Hey everyone, my name is Dana Schmoyer and I am 23 weeks pregnant with mono-di twin girls. My girls are sharing one placenta and I have quite a few appointments set up for the rest of this and I am finally okay with that. Whenever I heard the news or got my schedule of like the 27 more appointments that I would have over at the hospital, I was really overwhelmed because I have had 4 really healthy pregnancies and like no complications, and the labor and delivery were no complications, and to go from that to a high risk pregnancy because they're monodi twins sharing one placenta freaked me out because it's just not what I've been used to. But I've been talking to the hospitals, talking to my doctor, and I've switched some of those appointments. I still have all the appointments, but instead of doing all my non-stress tests over at the hospital, I'm saving quite a bit of money and I'm going to be doing them over at my doctor's office. Plus, I kind of feel like doing them at the doctor's office feels a little bit more comfortable because, I don't know, just mentally being able to do them at the doctor's office makes me feel like it's not as high risk as if I had to go to the hospital for all of them. It's just a mental game, but I'm going to play it, and we're going to do all the non-stress tests over at the doctor's office instead of the hospital. I am feeling huge this week. I don't know. The last 2 days have been a lot more rough on me. I've been able to feel the weight of the babies. I've started having to wear my lovely maternity belt. I'll show you guys this thing. I've used it with all my kids towards the end of the pregnancy. I'm only halfway through on this one, a little bit over halfway through, but it's just mind-boggling that I'm already having to use it because I'm 23 weeks along. But the girls should be weighing they're each over a pound right now, and they're each about 11 inches long. And so even though I'm 23 weeks along right now, I'm actually should be measuring close to 28 weeks along. It feels a lot heavier than normal, and I keep on telling Tim, I'm like, why does it feel so much heavier? And he's like, well, there's 2 of them. And I'm like, yeah, there are. It's just really hard to like wrap my head around that there are 2 of them. When I feel them move, that's a little bit easier to wrap my head around it because the movements are all over the place and it's pretty fun. But it's also just different. I remember being pregnant with my first kid and being like, that is so weird that there's a living human inside of me moving around right now and I can feel that. And so now thinking there are 2 living humans inside of me right now, like, it's just crazy. It's mind-boggling that that can happen. Probably the biggest question that we have gotten so far is, what are their names? And I wish I could tell you, but we don't know. We have no clue. We don't have any of them picked out. I have 2 names that I like that are really cute, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't end up going with them because we are really picky when it comes to picking the names of our kids. We love going by the meanings of names, and with our last child, we went with the meaning of what we were learning at that time through the pregnancy, and so that's how we named our son with his first and his middle name. And so this time, I'm like, all right, now there's 4 names that we're going to go through. Not only do we want to do the meanings, I want something that goes together. I either want something that has the same first sound or names that rhyme, or I don't know, just something that goes together, and I just want it to be cute, but we also want the meaning. And then the other thing that I noticed was our first 4 kids that we have right now, all of their names are Hebrew names, and it would be really cool to be able to pick 2 Hebrew names for these girls as well. But the names that I love and that are my favorite are not Hebrew names. So I don't know what we're going to go with. We'll just see. It's going to take a long time. I think every single one of our kids, at least one of those names, we like decided in the hospital because that's how long it takes us to finally come up with it. But I'm hoping we can figure it out sooner because I really want to start calling them by their names instead of twins. I want to give them a name. I want to start making their baby quilts, but first, before I can even do that, we got to figure out, are we staying put in the house that we're in right now, or are we going to be moving to a different house that gives us a little bit more space, or I don't know. So there's still quite a bit up in the air, and it's been really hard this last week for me to be patient about that because I really want to nest. I want to get things ready. I want to prepare a home for these girls and start getting them stuff. Like, we don't have their car seats yet. We don't, like, because I just don't want to gather all this stuff and then have to move it. I want to know, like, this is where we're going to live. Once we're there, like, then let's start gathering everything. So I'm trying to be patient but it's not really working this last week. I've been struggling. I just want to get things ready. And I think a lot of it has been, especially the last 2 days, I'm uncomfortable now. Like, I was hoping to have everything set and in place so I could enjoy this and everything, but I feel like there has been so much to talk about and figure out, and I feel like I've almost kind of missed the fun part of the pregnancy, and so right now that's all I want to do. I want to get into the fun part of going, and if you're on Instagram, you saw that I did go looking at a few different fabrics to possibly use for making quilts. I've made all of my kids' quilts when they were born, or while I was pregnant with them, I made them a quilt. Here's one right here. This is Hallie's quilt that I made for her. And so I don't know, that kind of stuff is fun, and I want to make them stuff, and I want to do the fun part of this instead of all the not fun stuff, because all last week I spent most of the week on the phone, crunching numbers with the hospital and with the doctors and everything, and figuring out like how much are we going to be paying, because we're doing self-pay, but we use Samaritan Ministries, so it's not a health insurance, but it's like it's like a bunch of believers that pull their money together and you give it to who needs it for that month. And so I've been doing all these crazy numbers trying to figure stuff out. But I do know the one thing that we did figure out is that we're not going to be buying a house. So if we move, it will be renting a different house. But I really just want to stay here. We'll see what happens. That's it. I hope next week I'll be able to be like, yay, we can start doing all the fun stuff and everything. But I don't know, because these babies are starting to get uncomfortable. They're starting to get really heavy. And with Toby, my youngest, being like 13 months, I did not have a whole lot of time, or hardly any time, in between his birth and this pregnancy to get in shape where I was hoping to get to and build up my strength, especially my abs, to be able to hold a pregnancy again. And now it's a double pregnancy, and just pray for me because it's a lot of weight and it makes me a little bit nervous, and I probably need to start looking into some more supports than just the one band that I have, because it's just a single band under my belly, and my back's already been hurting the last 2 days, which is the first time that I've really noticed this before. Like, I think I've probably had some back pain with my other pregnancies, but not until like the last few weeks. And I've got about 4 months left. It's a long time to be in pain. So I will be shopping around for pregnancy braces to brace my back and my belly and hold these girls up. My other thing is, whenever I'm sleeping at night, I get round ligament pains really easily. And I did with my other pregnancies towards the end. But even when I'm sleeping, if I am at the wrong angle and one of the babies moves over into the wrong spot, it really sets off and I cannot move. And it's really hard to breathe through and try to do something to relax and make the pain go away. I haven't quite figured out how to help the round ligament pain to stop. So if you have any tips on round ligament pains and how to deal with them, how to get them to stop, go away, not happen, I don't know. I don't know any of those tricks, and it would be wonderful to know some of those. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you can get weekly updates on my twin pregnancy. I've had 4 full-term pregnancies already. This is my first pair of twins, and it's a pretty exciting journey that we are on so far. Also, on Wednesdays, I share a little bit about what I have learned through the week, or just something that's going on in life. And yeah, so subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.